Testing. 2.
Think you know about relationships, but you're wrong. Listen, there's no magic bullet. I'm teaching life skills.
You sick? You need medicine. It don't always taste good, but it'll get you better. You need this medicine. It ain't gonna always taste good, but this is what you need. Men and women, bottom line, we need to have the conversation. Your partner wants to give up control, but only if you know how to drive. This is about being the best you could ever be, whoever you are. I don't care if you're a man, a woman, LGBTQ, space aliens. I'll save anybody. I don't care. I'll teach a hedgehog how to have a threesome.
What do you mean by that?
Look, you don't have to listen to me, but you're wrong.
Listen, I know I'm great. And I know you're thinking, Dante, there's no way I could be like you. But you could be me, you know why?
Because you know who I was? Before I was me, I was you.
Man School 202. Better hear what I've got to say because you won't get it again.
I'm not an alpha male. I'm not a beta male either. I'm just a better man. Well, put your happiness first, because if you don't...
Yo, GYB, we get the balls back. WWDD, what would Dante do in the Sexual Revolution podcast? And I am excited. About to go down, yo. We're about to get busy. Phone lines, let me put the phone lines up. Yeah. Phone lines is up. What up? Long time no see. What's going on from the lab here? Wait until everybody get in. Now, if everybody hears me good, please put a thumbs up in the comments. Please put a thumbs up in the comments. If y'all are hearing me loud and clear, you know how we do this, open consultations. We're going for an hour, y'all, so don't play. I'm in and out. Anything you got on your mind, anything you want help with, hit me up, GYBB, get your balls back. You know how we do. Excited to be back on the lives. Appreciate y'all. I missed y'all, man. I ain't gonna lie. We did a little something over at Gas Digital, but we're back in the building over here. Had a good time, had a great time in London. Got to recharge my batteries a little bit to see my little man. That's always dope. Let me see. Everybody hearing me? Y'all hearing me? We got thumbs up? Okay. Phone lines are up. 929-269-4922. You know what it is. Live consultations all day, every day. We're going to go for a while. Go for about an hour. I see everybody coming in the chat. Appreciate that. Don't forget to like and subscribe, please. Like and subscribe, comment. please comment on the YouTube. We're live on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, or X, YouTube 2 channels, Facebook. We're getting it in. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, we do. We got every shade of thumb. Beige, brown, yellow, white. We got them all in. Pink. It is. You know how they say, I don't care if you're black, yellow, green, or plaid. Usually when you say plaid, it means you're racist. But because nobody's plaid. Phone lines is open. It was an interesting week, man. Interesting week. A lot of consultations, a lot of stuff that I'm learning about myself through you guys, which is awesome. That you guys are even teaching me today. That's real awesome. I feel like we're moving forward. I feel like this movement is really picking up momentum. I can tell by the Patreon. I can tell by the consultations. People are looking for the help, and they're getting on this program. And we're gonna leave all the rest of these clowns behind. All of these supposed to be movers and shakers. Down to like London was great. It was great. My son's getting, he just don't give a F. I wonder where he got that from. Let me shout out some people in the chat real. What the things smell like. Young Bass Prince in the building. Sterling Borg. Jabriel Africa. Miguel Cabral. Let's see what else we got in the ABZ, DJ Sneaker Freak 1, Young Bass Prince, all of Dante Butler in the building. Appreciate y'all. It's interesting because we had the last live was really interesting. It was really telltale. And what I realized, something that I wanted to talk about is that what I'm realizing more and more that is as we talk about ACE and we talk about authenticity, credibility, and empathy, Young Bass Prince, you're welcome, brother. We talk about ACE. What I'm finding is no matter what happens, no matter what we talk about, it always refers back to ACE, to authenticity, credibility, and empathy, and that goes to some of the other principles. I am working on the book. We're gonna try and finish the book as quickly as we can so we can get it out to y'all. Still working on the merch where y'all can get your sweatshirts and your t-shirts and all that stuff. We're trying to get that up and running as well. But one of the things that some of the principles that we talk about is, in relationships is knowing what your non-negotiables are and never negotiate them. And it came to my attention that, I say that as if it's a separate entity, but it also has a lot to do with being honest with yourself. Being honest with what your non-negotiables are. And anybody that does any, what up, Ziggy? Anybody that knows to do consultation with me, I'm not judgmental about what you want, but I do believe that what you want you got to be honest about what you want. And I think sometimes because people feel as though it's traditionally that you want a relationship, you want a girl, you want one marriage, whatever it is. I mean, you can't have multiple marriages because that's illegal. But whatever the happiness looks like, I think you can have that if you ask. Now, you can't have that happiness with everybody, but you can have it. And the more layered and the more complicated what it is you want it takes a little more time, it takes a little work, but you can have whatever you want if you're willing to make the sacrifice. And understand this, if you're not willing to make the sacrifice, you won't have it. It doesn't come to you easily. It's simple, but easily. You have to work your way at things that you want to happen in your life, the happiness that you want to fight, the woman that you want, the relationship that you want, the relationship with your parents, the job that you want, and you have to chip away at it every day. You got to spend time working at it every day. You get up, you put your feet on the ground, and you make an effort to to, to basically do what it is that takes you to get there. Let me real quick just check the phone lines, make sure the phone lines are working. I did not check it before I came. Hold on. See if we link up. We should be working. Let's see. Come on. Okay. All right. Phone lines working. Y'all can call in. Y'all know what it is. 929-269-4922. So what I realized is part of is how ACE becomes a part of everything. It becomes a part of compromise. It becomes a part of understanding who you are, about you showing up. It has to do. It's as much as I've made an effort to kind of figure this thing out and boil it down to the most simple aspect of things. I think we got it. I really think we got it this time. People talk about Patrice, and people are talking about I'm a deer, I'm a this, some of that. It's a lot of the stuff that we were talking about before, and a lot of it doesn't apply. What we do though is what we do is that I find that any question that I have, any consultation that I have, whether it be about relationships, family relationship, male, female, female, male, female, female, whatever it is, it still refers back to the same old stuff, back to the same three principles, which is authenticity, credibility, and empathy. What's interesting is I'm getting ready to put this video up. It's a video about one of the guys that called in last Tuesday, and he forget his name, but a shout out to him for calling and just being so honest. But what he was saying was he took this girl out, smashed, and then the girl unfollowed him. But his impression was like he was upset because that happened to him. But what's interesting is that guys in the chat, guys that listen to the podcast, guys that I know, friends of mine, they've done that to women a lot of the times because they just didn't want relationships. And you have to understand that this is what's interesting. The thing that I thought was most interesting is that every woman that flirts with you, engages with you, does not want to marry you. She doesn't want to have a relationship. She doesn't want to, maybe she just wants to hit it and quit it too. It's crazy. I know that's a novel thing for you guys to even think about it, but it doesn't. That happens when you create value in their life, value above everybody else that's in their life. Then they wanna come back. Just like you want to come back and hit again, you want to beat again, they want to come back if you have value in the social engagement, the social interaction. And when you're not creating, when it's just sex or just when it's just certain things, then they don't mind hitting it and quitting it too, just like you don't mind. So I think we have to be honest about this. Also, what I find is we will get complaints about we get complaints about, I had a conversation with my wife or my girlfriend, and she yesed me to death, but just went back to the other thing or whatever. The bottom line is if you have told somebody what you want and what makes you happy and they're not doing it, it's because they don't want to do it. But you got to be honest with yourself. Here's something. Check out the new podcast that's coming out this week. We talk about that a lot. We discuss how I say that closure is for bitches. I feel like if you give, what is young bass person? If you feel like if you give good D, she won't ghost you. That's a possibility. But you don't even know the young bass prince. You don't know if that's the truth either, because sometimes it's she loves her man and she could be stepping out on him. She could be stepping out on him. She just needs a break. She just loves her man, loves the situation, but just wants to step out. And if she steps out, you might be the lucky one or the unlucky one, depending on how you see it or how you see her. But what's interesting is when you all of a sudden when the shoe is on the other foot and a woman is just using you she just wants to hit it and quit it, all of a sudden we start catching feelings. Why? Did you really want a relationship? No. I mean, you might want to beat again, but I mean, guys don't really fall in love in that way. It's sort of a gnawing away process. It's a wearing down process. We get accustomed to things. We start to get it becomes habitual. And because it's habitual, we act in certain ways, and then we get comfortable, and it becomes routine. And I mean, it's what's interesting is how we are mammals. We pair bond. You get accustomed to somebody's smell, the way somebody tastes, the way somebody feels, and it becomes comfortable for them. It's just interesting for us to not have the empathy to say that other women could have that same thing. We got a call. Hold on, let's get into it.
Lavdrum.
To accept.
Ladrum? Is that the right name?
Yeah, Lavdrum.
Say it again.
What's going on, boss? How are you?
What's going on? Say your name again.
Lavdrum. You can call me Labby for sure.
Lavdrum. Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Lavdrum, what's going on? Where you calling from?
Calling from Seattle, downtown,
Cool.
actually, right now.
Cool. How can I help you, brother?
So I've had like a bit of following your stuff has really changed my life, and I've had a lot of more success with women and stuff. And but a couple of the things that I'm running into, like a problem, I think it's my fault in how I communicate it. It's that when women find out that I'm talking to multiple partners and stuff, they get kind of like iffy about it. One of them, I explained to her very well what was going on, and she was with it. Like, obviously she had the objection. I overcame it because I followed Ace and I told her what it was.
Okay.
Another one though that had just happened last night. This was I had called in before a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And that was when I had broken Ace, and it kind of put me in a funky spot because I had two girls in at the same place. And
I remember.
That was me. I was being real weird about it. And the
Okay.
same one, she, we was chopping it up. I seen her last night. She's texting me. She's like, not that I care, but she's like, I want to be friends. And I just listened to that Patreon episode with Harry talking about how he overcame his.
Yeah.
How he was just like, I don't want to be her friend. That doesn't make sense for me.
Here's the honesty of it. Do you want to be her friend? I mean, is there an honest situation where you see this woman who you don't know, who all of a sudden you want to hang out and be friends with her and talk about your darkest dreams and who you smashing and who you not? I mean, is she somebody that you would want to do that with?
No, I could be friendly. Like if I see her out, I give her a hug.
But you know what it means.
She
says, can we be friends?
Yeah, hell no.
No, and so what did you tell her when she said, we could be friends?
Oh, she just texted that. I haven't texted her back. I called you first.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't. I mean, you can say, I'm really not interested in being your friend. Yeah. I mean, you got to understand that if you also, that is a way of. It's a way of bargaining in a way. Women will sometimes use that as a way of bargaining. Like she texts you, and then you don't want to feel guilty. I mean, because here's one thing. It's an interesting thing how people think that men are so cold-hearted, but nobody wants to. I mean, you got to be a real piece of garbage where you do something with the intention on hurting somebody's feelings.
100%.
I mean, so you don't want what she wants out of it, but you do. You also don't want her to be in pain, But you also
No.
don't want to be her friend. I mean, the audacity to think that you are attracted to her and that she thinks that she's so interesting that you would want to be her friend. It's like you would settle for that. It's a little audacious if you ask me. So
I agree.
go ahead. I'm sorry, you were gonna say something.
No. Um. Yeah. I understand where she's coming from because her perspective was, I just don't want to be another girl that you sleep with, and it's like, if that's what you want, like, that's fine. Like, I won't continue it. I don't want to make you feel no type of way, and it's not like my intention is to be in a relationship. So you can go on your merry way.
Let me ask you something. Did you say that?
I'm about to.
Okay, so here's my thing. A lot of times guys will call me up and they will say, because they know there's no judgment on my side. So they'll be very honest about what they're feeling. Because I allow you to be. Because I'm not judging you. I'm not saying you have to be this way or that way. God knows I'm not. I mean, I hate to say it. God knows I don't believe in God. He knows that.
Yeah.
But so I'm not. There's no puritanical idea about how I perceive your life should be. So you can be honest, and I think when you're honest that way, it's better for everybody. And you have to. So let's rewind something that you said. You have a problem sometimes saying, like, some women are for it, some you just young. I mean, you're young, right? How old are you?
24.
So you're 24. It's like, the idea that all of a sudden that you want a serious relationship and want to settle down is just absurd. I know that you're supposed
I'm
to.
not even opposed to it. It just has to be to someone I think is cool. Like, I mean, I'm just shopping right now, but I'm not. That's kind of like a little wrong.
Nah,
Not
listen.
objects,
Stop. Don't bite your tongue.
Okay, fair enough.
Be honest about what it is. If you're just saying you mean just shopping, then you could be shopping. Let me tell you something. Women shop all the time, and I don't mean that in the sense that I mean women shop. Women be shopping. I do mean that, but what I mean is women shop all the time. They advocate, they date, they go out, they listen to you. Okay, what do you got to say that somebody else hasn't said? Who are you? What are you? They're interviewing and they're upgrading all the time. And I think we have to be comfortable. We got to be comfortable with the honesty of who we are. And when you are honest and comfortable with who you are, people accept you for what you are.
100%.
And
actually, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna bring up an example of this happening before, and I don't know where I was falling. I completely made sure I was following every single category of ACE when I sent it, but there was another one that asked me about a situation, and she was like, she had said it through text, like, oh, I feel kind of weird that this is how I'm finding out you're talking to other girls. Like, you say you're very transparent, but you haven't been, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. And I responded, because I'm like, okay, well let me address this. I'm not going to duck the conversation. I'm not going to make the same mistake. So I told her, if it's in regards, this is like almost word for word what I said. I said, if it's in regards to your health and your safety, I practice safe sex and I use protection. If it's in regards to feeling like I lied to you, all you ever had to do was ask and I would have told you the truth.
Right.
If it's in regards to feeling like it's transactional, I actually genuinely enjoy spending time with you. And then I texted after that. I was like, it's not my job to set boundaries for you. You have to be communicative about what you want.
And do you say that?
Everything I told her that word for word.
Then I don't think you could have been any more clear or more transparent than that.
And it was and the way she receptive. We hopped on the phone later, and she was completely receptive to it. What I knew what it was is she told me the reason why she felt weird about it is because the way that we were going, that she felt like she was gonna like me, and then she said if we get to the point and I don't reciprocate that she would have to end it. And I told her this. I was like, I would never want to put someone in a situation where they want something more and I can't give it to them. So I told her, if we got to that point and you wanted to stay around and you knew I didn't want to, you just sacrifice your wants and needs because you still want to have me in your life, I'll end it for you. That's what I told her.
Hey, listen.
And she respected
Let me say something. What you're doing is you're dead on. You're dead on. I could not give you a critique to say it any better. To stay honest and true to yourself and to be righteous, that if you're not feeling the same way, and I would end it for you, even if I thought that this was, even if you're trying to stick around, but because you could tell if somebody likes you so much that they're sticking around, right? But it's painful
Yeah.
for them. It's gonna come out. There's a telltale sign. There's gonna, because they're gonna make you miserable. Every
Yes.
chance they
Oh,
get,
miserable, yes.
they're gonna make you miserable. It's not like they're gonna be miserable and you're not gonna know it. That just does not happen. And if somebody doesn't, can't deal with it, you don't blame them for that. It's just, you can't blame somebody for liking you too much. I mean, one of the things that I talk about is these principles, following these principles, and it makes you attractive, is what you're
Very,
seeing. Do you
very.
understand? So when you practice these things, it makes you attractive. You being yourself. Nothing. Women. The most attractive thing about men is honesty. I know that's so counterintuitive to what everything that we're told and all the nonsense on the internet and what everybody says, but being honest about what you are, even if what you are is a dog. And I don't mean that in a bad sense, but I mean, even if you have this appetite, this high appetite for women or whatever it is what it is. You're not going to be any different, and you have to understand this. What's interesting is, what I think is, you're a young dude, and understand that if you're honest, you're going to get some objections. You're going to get an objection. You're going to get verbal objections about what you're saying. You already know what those objections are. Have an answer for it. And what I'm not saying have a line to combat it. What I'm saying is have an honest answer. You shouldn't have to figure this out on the fly. If you do, that's fine. But it's difficult sometimes it's difficult to express yourself in real time the first time that you're coming across some kind of problem and you're dealing with somebody. So have an answer. Figure out actually what you think. What's interesting, and you said you're not opposed to having a relationship, a one-on-one relationship, but you're not looking for a relationship. You're looking for a specific kind of relationship with a certain person in a certain that fits along the lines where you and that person are meshed. A lot of times,
100%.
women want a relationship. They want a wedding, they want a marriage, but they just want a marriage. It doesn't matter. And then on the back end, they're unhappy with the marriage because it's not what they wanted in the first place. You gotta be honest about it, because just like they may not want you, you may not want them. And it will be evident and come out right in the. So here's you're saying that I'll give you an example, and then I'm gonna let you go. Well, I'm gonna ask you if you have any questions before that. But if you say, I really like you, I date other women, I'm young, I'm still kind of doing my thing, and she says, well, I'm a little I feel a little weird that you're dating other people, so let's be friends, and she's saying, so what she's saying is, hey. I see you're fucking other women, and I raise with a friendship with no sex. And you go, hey, I'm out. I fold. You can play this game on your own. That is as fair. It is as fair as she can be to say that all I want is a friendship from you, and it is as fair as you can be to say, yeah, I don't want to be a friend. And that may be hurtful, but if it's hurtful, then she shouldn't ask for friendship. I mean, you can't just assume that because you want to be somebody's friend that they want it back. So it's sort of this, you have to understand it's a ping pong, but it has to be ping pong from a very honest place. Look, I really like you. Oh, I like you too. But just want you to know I see other women. Oh, I don't like that. I want to be friends. Okay, I'm going to go now. I know that seems cold, but let me tell you something. How many times have any guys in the chat, if y'all want to talk about this, You go, hey, how you doing? Hey, can I get your number? No. What does that mean? No, I don't want to. No. And you go, oh, okay. Can I get your Instagram? No.
Not at all. No.
They have no problem saying what they want. And so
Nope.
you in turn, but see, when we start being honest about that, then it kind of evens the playing field. Anything else you wanted to ask?
Shoot, yeah. Damn it, I had something. That time frame, the thing about you're saying about like the friend zone, like they want to be friends. It's kind of like that old Patrice joke about being the time hoe. That stands up to this day. Like they get everything they get your time, and you get none of what you want.
None of what you
all.
want. And I've talked about this 100 times. Compromise means that both of us don't get all of what we want. We both.
Yeah. Oh, I love that quote that you said. That's a great quote.
I mean, it's not even a quote. It's just the definition of compromise. You can just look it up, and if you Google the definition of compromise, that's what it means. Okay, so I mean, so there's two things here. You should have these answers. Figure out what it is you actually feel. I'm not saying to prepare a line. What I'm saying is kind of ask yourself, what do I actually think about this? If somebody says this to me, how do I think? Well, I'm not really interested in that or that. Then, you should have an answer.
Yeah, like a philosophy behind your thoughts on
exactly,
something, right?
Because if there's thought and philosophy behind it, even if you guys don't meet in the middle with it, at least you know that you spoke from a perspective of somebody who has thought about this, and anybody that has real thought about what they believe in, then you could disagree with me, but you can't tell me that I gotta think the way you want to think. All right?
Yeah, 100%. Thank you, Don. You're the best, Don. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too, bro. You're the best too. Thanks for calling. Don't forget,
Thank you.
If you need, sign up for the Patreon, whatever you can do to help, I'd appreciate it, man.
I did just sign up for I always said I would do it, and I just did it. Yeah, I'm the second tier.
All right, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Appreciate you too. Thank you.
Later. Let me go through the chat. What you call it? Young Bass Prince says if you feel like if you gave a good D, she won't ghost you like that. Yeah, usually, but there's got to be more to that. Nobody sticks around just for good dick. Sorry, you could have great dick, and you could have great vagina, and then and it be a girl who wants to F all your boys, and you go, is this what I want to do? So what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that great sex is it's not that it's not a variable. I'm just saying it's not the only variable. X in the comments says, any advice to get an ex back without this no contact bullshit? First of all, I'm not gonna have you talk about my philosophy as no contact bullshit. How about that? But I guess what you're saying is, here's what you have to say on a basic premise is that if somebody doesn't want you back, then they don't want you back. You can't make people do what you want them to do. Now, I'm gonna give the caveat. Even in terms of prostitution, pimps, and prostitutes, I'm gonna tell you a little something that you may not know. A woman who sells pussy wants to sell pussy. I'm gonna say it again. A woman who wants to sell pussy sells pussy. Understand something. And I'm not talking about something where we're talking about somebody's handcuffed to a bed or somebody's on drugs, strung out on drugs, and what I'm saying is, in old school game pimps and listen, there are other things that a hoe can do. If she's a prostitute, there's other things she can do. She is making the money on her back because she has weighed the options, and working on the fries at McDonald's is not going to cut it for her. We see this all the time when we see women in the strip clubs turning tricks, doing all kinds of stuff. Women on Instagram, they're soliciting themselves and they're getting flown out to Dubai so Saudi princes could pee and shit on them. So they're making a decision that they'll do this for a certain amount of money. Understand something. You can picture this. If you're say you're a pimp and you got a girl on the stroll. I'm just saying hypothetically. And she doesn't want to do this anymore. All she got to do is get on, as she walks away from you and she's out of sight, she can get on, she can swipe her Metro card and go. Never has to come back again. You got to understand something. Even in situations where we don't make decisions, not making a decision is a decision as you're deciding not to make a decision. Still a decision. So there's that. So when you say, is there any advice to get somebody back, an ex back? The reason why, let me explain why you don't contact. Because she's saying to you, I don't want to be with you. And you're calling and contacting, and what is the subtext of that communication? What you're ultimately saying is, I know you don't want me, but I'm here just in case you do. And no matter what happens, I don't have any options. So go do whatever you want to do, have all the fun you want to have, see if there's anybody better than me. But when all else is said and done, I'm the safety net that's sitting here waiting for you to come back. How is that attractive to anybody? That you have made yourself the consolation prize. And that is why when somebody says they don't want to be with you, you leave. Somebody says, I don't want to talk to you no more, you don't. If somebody hangs up the phone on you, you never call back. Because the subtext is, you're not good enough. If a woman said that to you, I would hope that you would have the self-esteem to not call back. But if you're calling back, you're saying, you are right, I'm not good enough. But if by chance you could pity me enough that if all else fails, I'll be here waiting for you to call me. That's not attractive to nobody. So that's why you don't contact an ex to get it back. What you do is you make yourself the best version of yourself. You have to have something to offer. If you don't have something to offer, if there's things that you were and you are the best version of yourself, and somebody leaves you, what do you do? What do you do if you're dating a girl and then all of a sudden she decides that she realizes that she's a lesbian and she wants women? How do you get her back? You don't, because what she wants is something that you're not offering. I hope that makes sense. Being the best person, this is from Sterling Borg. Being the best person, let me put that up. I think I can put that up, yeah. Let's see. He says, being the best person you can be is not mutually exclusive from being honest. Hold on. Do we have a call? I don't know why this is not coming up. Shit, here we go. All right, hold on, y'all. Let me, y'all gonna have to call back. Let me shut this down and bring it back up. For some reason, the phone's not showing up. Damn it. Last time I did this and I couldn't get the damn thing up, it was a problem. I hope we don't have that problem today. Usually, if I shut it down and bring it back up, I can get it up. Hold on. Sorry, fellas. Window. Okay. Let's see if we open this back up. Let me check the phone real quick. Let's see. Sorry. Let me read this again. Being the best Okay. All right, it's back up. All right, whoever call back again. All right, whatever difficulties I had, we've fixed it. Being the best person you can be is not mutually exclusive from being honest. It's not mutually. What do you mean by that? Mutually exclusive from? No, it's. I think being honest is part of being the best person you can be. I don't think you can be a liar. I don't think you would be a liar and you would call yourself the best person you could be. I mean, not by my standards anyway. I mean, maybe by your standards, but not at all. I don't think you can. I don't think you can do both. I don't think you can be the best person you could be and not be honest. Um, I mean, that's what the whole show is about. Let me see. Willie, okay, we got the call back.
Tyler.
Yo, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's up, Dante? It's Tyler from
Talid?
Washington, D.C.
What's going on? What's calling from DC? What's up, brother? How can I help you?
Oh, right quick, let me close out this app. Right there you go. I can hear you now.
Okay, cool.
So I just got a relationship question for you.
Sure.
I need a little advice here. So, long story short, I been with my lady for about 4 years now.
Okay.
4 years.
Been with her
almost
for
a
4
couple weeks
years.
ago.
Okay.
And I guess we kind of hit like this impasse at this point in time where I actually called her probably about a month and a half, 2 months ago, basically about stressful work situations, and we were kind of discussing ways of going about mediating the issue. So you turn around maybe about 2 years, 2 years, 2 months from then to now, I found myself in a situation where I found myself in a field where, let's just say, like my confidence is now sort of through the roof because I'm in an environment that makes sense for me. And
You mean based on your
going,
job, the environment, your
yes,
job environment?
yes.
Okay. Did
So
you
now
did you
kind
call
of,
me before about this or no?
yeah, I did. But it was about the job that we talked about. Just strictly, it was just straight business. It wasn't even about
Okay.
relationships and
All
all of
right.
that so much.
And what's the difference now? It's the fact that you have low self-esteem from the job. Is it reflective of the job?
So that's basically what I'm getting at. Where it's like I'm now in a space where I got air back in my lungs. I'm out here moving around, moving and shaking in a way that is very positive. The money is amazing, all of those things.
Now, so
But
when you
now it's
when you
like
called in, the advice that I give you, what did I tell you to do?
basically you basically said to go and speak to instead of going to my management, go above them.
And how did that work out?
So I actually left. And
Okay,
that was the other
right.
thing.
And
Was
that
the
was
other
the thing.
part of what you
Go above them. If not, go above them. Make a move to the move. Okay, so you're in a better place now. Yes.
Right, I am.
All right.
And see now, with that being the case, it's now created this. It's very backwards to me, I guess, because of the fact that I now have found myself in this situation where now I have such, I guess, vibrance in a way that's now created some issue, I guess, amongst where because I'm now in this new space, she feels as if I'm potentially going to leave her.
Okay, so because your life is better,
Right.
she thinks that she's not good enough now.
And that's what I feel, and that's what I think.
Okay, did you say that? Is
No.
do you think that's an accurate assessment of what it is?
I don't think that's an accurate assessment, but what I do think is if she drops the ball in certain places, and I'm very understanding. You talk about it being empathetic, all of those things. I am, but if she it's almost as if you know your own faults and you don't correct them, then now you're upset at yourself, I guess, for not doing
But is
something.
she taking
But then
that out
take
on
it out
you?
on the other.
Is she
Exactly.
Okay, and in what way is she taking that out on you because she feels she has shortcomings? And
So
how does that work?
It's become this sort of I guess it's like we had this whole blowout argument essentially where I got to by the time I got to the bottom line of it, which that was the case. It was that I thought I felt as if you're going to leave me and so on and so forth. That's what the bottom line was.
That's what
But
you said. If you want to leave me,
no,
oh, that's what she said.
That's what she said. That's what
Okay,
she
so
said.
then you're saying so. What was the initial? Make it. You got to be more brief though. What was the situation? What
No,
was the
yeah,
problem? What
I'm
was the
trying to
problem?
get through
What
it.
was the problem?
So basically, what she said in this argument was basically something that was very low. It was low blowing to the point of like
What? Give me
basically saying
specifics.
that.
Give me specifics.
Okay, so long story short, I got booked for a film, and I'm now working on this film, and it's been amazing. But essentially, what was stated to me was basically like, well, you wouldn't have the opportunity if I didn't send you this contact information.
Okay.
Granted, it's very false.
And to what capacity are you working on this film?
So I'm just doing a lot of backing roles, essentially. Like they continuously are pulling me in for various things.
Okay,
that they need
but here's the thing:
on
she
set,
gave you
so.
she gave you some information for background, right? And then
Right.
you started putting it in, and then you start getting these roles, right? Is that
Technically.
okay? And now she's upset because you're getting these roles that she feels insecure because you're gonna leave her because you're getting these roles, and then she throws it up in your face that, well, I got you I got you this if I didn't give you this content, so she wants to take credit for the fact that you're getting these roles, right?
Basically.
Okay, and what was your response to that?
I shattered my hand studying drama.
You did what?
And so I had to have my hand reconstructed.
Yeah, I
So
hope you
shattered
didn't.
it
You
studying drama.
didn't punch something, did you?
I did.
Okay, first of all,
No, no. Not in the conversation. What I was saying is that I shattered my hand studying drama. Therefore, like, this has been my life. So it's like, no matter what it was that you could have done for me, that I've dedicated part of my life
right. But so
to
what is
this
so?
field.
Here's what when somebody says that to me, I this is how because what she's saying in essence, like you have to break this down to what's actually being communicated. So she gives you a contact, you start getting work, right? You spend your life acting and learning acting, practicing acting. You're getting work, and now she says you would have never got this if I had not given you the contact. Then what you do? What do I owe you? That's what I asked.
That's true.
I asked, what do I owe you?
Okay.
Is there a monetary thing? Is there something that I owe you? Well, tell me what I owe you so I could pay you so you could leave me the fuck alone. That's what I say. When somebody's doing this is a passive aggressive way to keep their foot on your neck. You understand?
Yeah, I do.
And it's being done, I understand that it's being done out of insecurity, right? But you cannot let somebody have that kind of control over you. Put this wet blanket over your success because because eventually that will wear you down. And the way that you feel good about what you're doing, you're not going to feel good about it anymore. Second of all, if you're with somebody who doesn't want your success, that's somebody that you need to not be with. Now, you can also say, huh?
No, I was saying that's the harsh reality of it.
That is the harsh
You're
reality.
reaffirming. Yeah, you're basically reaffirming everything.
But let me just say this. You can also say, listen, I love you. You're a part of this. I sense you feeling insecure about this. And I want you to know I love you for, you can just you can accent or you can highlight the things why you love her and why she's important to you. And then you go, but understand something. I'm not going to continuously let you use me as a punching bag because of your insecurity. If there's something that you need to get from me in order to feel more secure, that I can do. But I will not engage in this tearing me down because you feel insecure. That's what you have to say. And if somebody doesn't have if they don't have the emotional maturity to engage in that conversation, then you have to go. Because this person is going to continue to suck the life out of you. And that's just the harsh truth.
And that's sort of where it said, that's where it says, like, I've reached this point too. So like I have hopping on here today, of course, like I've heard a lot of your principles, so on and so forth. Been following for years at this point. And that's been the biggest thing with a lot of these, just in this in particular, where it's like, even if you address it in that manner and you directly, because that's the case, like I refuse to be anybody's punching bag. That literally stating that, even though I understand that she's had X, Y, and Z happen over the years.
Yeah,
My thing
you
is
don't
to
have
hold
to.
her accountable.
It's not your
But
job to fix. You can't. First of all, you can't fix what anybody's done in the past anyway. There's nothing you can do to fix it. That she has to decide that she wants to move on, but she doesn't get she doesn't get an opportunity to make you that guy and to treat you. In fact,
yeah,
it's disrespectful. Let me say this. I was talking about this, and I said I wanted to talk about this. Closure is for bitches. It's going to be a new thing that I'm going to say often. Closure is for bitches. Recognize what somebody is communicating with you and then deal with that on that level. You understand? What I mean by that is if she said to you, if she says to you, you would have never had this if you would have never had this if I didn't give you this contact. And you say, well, tell me what I owe you, because you seem to think that I owe you something. So tell me, is there a monetary value? Is there something I need to do? Because if you, then what happens is they back off it. No, I didn't say you owe me nothing. I don't want nothing. I don't need nothing. If you're going through that, then if you don't think I owe you nothing, then shut up about it. I'm not going to continue to talk about it. Here's what I'm saying. You got to take her actions and put that take that and translate it into the verbiage of what she's saying. What she's saying is, you owe me something, right? You would have never been this if it wasn't for me. You owe me something. Then the question is, well, what do I owe you? Because you're communicating me. If she says, well, if you this and that, what she's also saying is, hey, listen, I want you broken and down, because when you start feeling good about yourself, it makes me insecure because I don't think that I'm good enough. So what you need to do is to be down and out, depressed, and I need you to be a loser so that I can feel comfortable that, oh, he ain't gonna leave me because I'm the best thing that ever has happened to him. Now, if that's what she's saying to you, you understand? So if you have that as the core of what she's saying to you, why would you be with somebody who's saying that? Because you understand that's what she's saying. You stay a loser so I can be comfortable. Make sense?
and I think, no, it does. I think that's the biggest slap in the face for me at this point, especially being together for 4 years and
None of
I
that
take
shit
care of
matters.
everything.
Things
And
change.
that's what I was going to say. Is I gotta take care of it. Like there's not a ball that's been dropped in any phase of life. Let's say even when I have when I had terrible weeks with certain things, I never impeded on her life or ever made her.
That don't
feel
matter.
that thing.
It doesn't
Exactly.
matter.
And that's what I'm
People don't
recognizing.
people don't treat you the way that you deserve to be treated or the way you want to be treated. It doesn't matter what happened in the past. You don't expect to have some kind of that you've earned some kind of capital that gives you a pass. It all depends on who the person is and what they are, man. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to understand it. But you don't. I'm not saying you got to cut this off, but you got to have this conversation.
But can I get 2 more minutes right quick? Because
Yeah,
a whole other caveat.
sure. You got to make it
This
quick
might
though.
be something that can be all right. Now, let's say if there is now somebody else that is presenting themselves in a way that is more so what you need.
Come on, dog. You don't. That's not a question you even gonna ask me. It's what you want.
Okay.
That's not for me to answer.
Okay.
If you think that this is better, and you want to, and you're ready to move on, then move on. If she wanted somebody else, you think she wouldn't move on?
That's a hell of a question. Well, a hell of a reality is more so than
Yeah,
more
I was
so
getting ready
than-
to say it's not a question. You already know what it is. You feel me?
Exactly.
All right, brother.
I do.
Appreciate
All right,
you.
man. Be good, man. Appreciate you.
Later. Theo the Fourth sent me a super chat. Thank you, Theo. Do you ever feel like, with all your knowledge and experiences, that you intimidate younger women or some women in general? I imagine it's intimidating for them. That's not really my concern. My concern is to be true to myself, and if they're intimidated by me, then what do I do about that? What am I going to do? Dumb my shit down? You know, I can't. I'm only who I am, and but I do try to communicate that I like what I like, and what I like, I make it available. I make time for it to be available to me, and if I'm doing that, it's because I want to. The chances of me having somebody that has the experience or even the life experience. I mean, if I just talk about me running the streets, for somebody to think that they would be comparable is just not ridiculous. And I'm not looking for another me. So what's going on? What's your
To
name?
accept, press
Hold
1.
on.
To send a voicemail, press 2.
You know, I'm not looking for I'm looking for something else. What's your name? Where you calling from? Hold on. I screwed that up. Hold on. Hello. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Texas.
What's your name, bro?
John.
John, what's going on? John from Texas. What can I help you with, brother?
Hey, Dante. I just want to tell you that you do good work, and I appreciate what you do.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, brother. Have you been listening for a while?
What was that?
Have you been listening for a while?
Oh yeah, very much. Especially the pre-shows you do with Godfrey.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, thank you, man. So you know that we do this every Sunday at 7, right?
Oh well, now I do. So I was a bit surprised.
Okay.
That I saw you live.
Okay.
Today.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for checking in. Any question? Anything I can help you?
Yeah. I've been thinking about asking you this question, so
Shoot.
let me just be as eloquent as I can be. What is the state of dating for men today? Like, what is so different that other generations didn't necessarily have to go through that perhaps me and other young men are going through?
Here's what I think. There's an option, and I've talked about this a bunch of times. There's a situation when guys don't talk to women on the phone.
Yeah.
They use these digital apps and so on and so forth. And but ultimately, it comes down to you having to hook up with somebody and actually have a date with them. And at that point in time, you got to talk. So if you're not doing it, I mean, it's interesting how I always say this, there's two things that men are supposed to be good at with no practice. That's sex and relationships. The only way you get good at it is if you practice anything. And to expect yourself to be good at something without any practice is unfair to you, and it's unfair to yourself. You're being unfair to yourself. So there's that. The other part of that is I think that's really interesting is that what I do is, and what I do over and over again is I tell anybody that's listening to my content, your first thing to do is to get off of the app, to get somebody on the phone and actually hear their voice. I mean, I don't understand how you could want to take up space in somebody's body, i.e. have sex with them, and don't want to talk to them. I don't understand why how's a woman going to have sex with you or have relationships with you if she doesn't want to talk to you, if she doesn't want to hear your voice, if doesn't want to hear you. That's just not going to happen. It's unrealistic to even think that. So if I had to say one of the biggest things is that, first of all, guys don't really go out and they don't talk. They have digital apps and stuff that they think that they're really communicating. But ultimately, it still comes out to when you get a date, you got to go out and you got to have a conversation with somebody. And if you haven't been doing it, you're not going to be able to do it. Not only that, but even if you are an interesting guy, what you're going to have more so than not is that you're going to be awkward and you're going to have approach anxiety. And anytime you let emotion have a seat at the table, plan on being less competent than you would be normally. I don't care what the activity is. if you allow emotion to have a seat at the table, if you have fear, anxiety, you are not going to perform with the same proficiency as if you're relaxed, cool, and calm. And the way you become relaxed, cool, and calm is through repetition and through familiarity. So if I had to say what's the biggest problem with guys that have now with dating is and it's not really a problem because all you have to do is just bypass that. You have to create the standards so that you can ultimately, that somebody, in order to have your attention, they got to talk to you. And to have a girl say, "Oh, I don't give out my number. I don't talk on the phone. I don't do." Yeah, well, you keep it moving. Because
Hey, and Don, go ahead.
no,
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
And I was just thinking too, because today men and women as well, they just have so much access to information about dating. There's a lot of information about.
I mean, that don't matter. I mean, there's plenty of lousy information as well, but
right. And go ahead. Oh, I'm just wondering if that immense amount of information is just creating a lot of confusion.
I mean,
when there's really
not knowing is confusion. Getting the wrong ideas is confusion. All you got to do is try it, and you know it doesn't work. If you listen to them clowns, Fresh and Fit, and you listen to the stuff that, and you think that that's viable, all you got to do is try it, and it's not going to work. So if you don't have a Bugatti, you know what I'm saying? If you don't have a Bugatti, then come on, dog, stop. I mean, the population is growing because people are putting D's in the P. You know what I mean? That is happening every day. Right now, as we speak, somebody is effing somebody somewhere. So
yeah,
and they don't have a Bugatti. So it's just absurd. It's just absurd. But I appreciate you calling, man. Thank you so much, bro.
Thanks, Dante. Keep it up, man.
All right, brother. Later.
Bye.
Caller needs to stop being. Sounds like the caller is getting that itch to bounce, and that was about that other call. Reason for her to I'm just going through the and reason for her to take it out on you. No, it's not. Depletable says it is not. You're right. It's not supposed to. They're not supposed to take nothing out on you. You're not supposed to be. I mean, you can be in any relationship. You can be an aid to remove insecurity, to help people to grow, to teach, but you should not. That doesn't mean you have to be somebody's emotional punching bag, and you better not be, because I might even advocate that as an option, right? If it was going to make a difference. But let's be honest, there's no situation where somebody uses you as an emotional punching bag, and then afterwards they feel better about it. The whole thing changes. Treat you like trash, and then afterwards you go, I feel so much better now. Now I'm going to treat you better. It just doesn't happen. Venmo. I got the Venmo. I have Venmo too. I can God, I think I have Venmo. Let me see if I can put the Venmo up for you, for somebody who wants it. I also have the Cash App is up. So if you don't have the Cash App, let me see if I can find somebody wanted to I gotta take care of that, fellas, because I gotta keep this internet up. Oh God. My Venmo is not up. Is it up or is it not up? I don't even know. It's not up. What happened was with my Venmo, I had a fraud on my Venmo, so it's suspended. So you got Cash App, PayPal. If you just search Dante Nero, it should come up. So I'm sorry, man. Or you can do that. I really would prefer the Cash App anyway. It's easier. And the Cash App is on the thing. But I appreciate it. Somebody was trying to. Who was it that said that? I did not see the word sex coming after you said take up space in somebody's body. My bad. I'm trying not to get canceled. I mean, demonetized. So I'm trying to watch my mouth. I'm trying to be a little more, selective about my language. Jules says he hadn't been. Did you click the bell? Click the bell, Jules. That's how you get it. Yeah, if you have to do the super chat, but the Cash App is better because the super chat takes more of my goddamn money. So there's that. Let me put up the number again. I mean, it's on the bottom, but I'd like to give it up. Lines are open. Call in 929-269-4922. We're gonna do a little more time, maybe one or two more calls if y'all call. It's interesting that something that it's kind of the ink is still wet on it in terms of my thought process. What I realize is that actions have specific outcomes, and there are certain things that we're communicating through the actions. I call it the subtext. So, but the subtext is saying specific things that if somebody said those specific things to somebody, they probably wouldn't tolerate it. What's your name? Where are you calling from, bro?
Hey, this is Steven from New Jersey.
Steve, what's going on? Steve from Jersey. What can I help you with?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, I'm running into an issue where I'm meeting a lot of what I call loser chicks, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing wrong to attract, the same type of woman all the time.
When you say loser chicks, what do you mean?
So usually it's their personality. They normally they like to either pull me down in some sort of way or try to
How do you mean that?
up.
That's too vague.
Oh, all right. So for instance, they'll criticize my my career, lack of education, like I didn't go to college, my living situation, and it's not like it's anything bad. I have a good job, good career. I got a house, but it's not like a mansion. So
Okay,
that's
so
something
give me an idea of what somebody's saying.
Okay, all right. So for instance, I'll bring somebody over, and it's so why is the house so small? Or the car I'm driving.
If somebody
isn't
comes
good
in my
enough.
house and they say, "Why is my house so small?" I go, "You're right. It's too small for the both of us. You should go."
Yeah, no, that's usually how it happens. So you usually, like, by the second date, sometimes the first they show their colors. So I exit the situation pretty quickly, and I don't
How
get
quickly?
them.
Do you exit the situation when somebody says your house is small?
You usually, yeah. So I don't even that's it. That we're going home. You know what I mean? Because
Okay.
like the last time it happened was a few weeks ago. We went out to I went out to dinner with this girl. It was probably like the second or third time we're hanging out, and she made mention about how I paid for the bill. I wasn't flashing, but I took out a credit card, and she was like, "Oh, how'd you get that?" It was an Amex Gold card, and she was like, "You know what? You're trying to basically show off and stuff like
And
that."
what's your response to that?
So my response was like, "Well, what's the problem with how I'm paying your dinner? We're not in the bag. We're not in the bag in the back scrubbing dishes. So what's the issue with how I pay for it?"
And where are you meeting these women?
So anyway, to be honest with you, most of the time, because I do the whole lay the bricks thing like you talk about.
Right.
And so a lot of times I grab numbers doing that. So it's all over the place.
Okay, so are you not meeting anybody that's that? Because the bottom line is, I mean, and I would say this to a woman as well. You got to kiss a lot of frogs to get the prince.
Right.
So I mean, I don't think this is necessarily a problem with you, as long as you are not tolerating this kind of disrespect when it happens, and that you are immediately removed. My question is, what I would question is, if you're talking about this is the third date, and then somebody says, "Why are you paying the check with an American Express Gold card?" Like,
right.
I mean, that's something personal. You know what I mean? That's your insecurity. That's somebody else's insecurity. But I would imagine somebody who says that has
Right.
probably said something, uh, some loser nonsense before that you've overlooked.
Right. Okay.
There's no way you're on a third date and somebody pops up with that out of the blue. Unless you're not speaking to these people and you're not. I mean, are you speaking to them on the phone?
Yeah. No, that's one of the things I always
How
try to.
often are you speaking to them on the phone during the whole, like, so if you go out with somebody, how many dates how long did it take you to go to out on 3 dates?
That's over probably like a couple months. It was more of like a friendly thing at first,
Okay,
and
so here's my
yeah,
thing. In the course of 3 months, how many times did you speak to her on the phone?
I would probably say a handful of
How much
times.
is a handful?
You get about 5, 6,
Okay,
yeah,
so
something like that. Yeah.
this is a month you're taking somebody out and you're not talking to them on the phone? I
Well,
mean,
at first it was more of like a friendly thing, kind of busy schedule type of deal, and then we kind of ironed out a couple times in a row that we were able to see each other in succession, and that's really what it was. It wasn't like
yeah, here's my thing, and
you
this
know,
is what I say: you got to talk on the phone.
right?
So if you got in the course of a couple of months, if you taken somebody out 3 times in the course of a couple of months, there should have been some kind of steady conversation or something between those dates or whatever, if there was interesting. Unless you're going on so many dates with so many women in the process that you didn't have time to get around to it. I mean, that could be the possible. Is that what's happening or no?
I mean, well, in that particular time, there was 2 other girls that I was talking to and seeing
Okay.
at the same
All right.
time.
So,
So it
and how
wasn't,
long
yeah.
did you speak to them? Did you speak to them?
It was about, yeah. So I'm not a big have a lot of free time to talk on the phone type. I'm busy with work, and then I got
Let
something
me
on the
say this:
side,
if
and all that.
if you have time to take somebody out, spend time with them, and spend your money, then you have time to vet them.
Okay. So you as like a hypothetical, maybe next time instead of going out on that date, maybe talk on the phone for a
No,
couple hours.
I'm not
And
saying instead of going on. I'm not saying instead of. I'm
right.
saying to speak to somebody on the phone.
Okay.
If you're not speaking to them, there's only one way that you go out with somebody, and out of the blue they go, "Hey, what are you doing with that American Express Gold Card?" Right? And
Right.
it out of the blue it comes out that there's something you're doing wrong. You're not
Okay.
vetting this person before you take them out.
Yeah.
You are absolutely, for them to come out. There's no way possible that if you had any conversation with this person at all, that wouldn't have shown its ugly head early at some
Okay.
point in time in the course of the conversation. If you spoke to her 2-3 times before the first date, I can't imagine how that wouldn't have come out.
Okay. Okay.
You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. All right.
But if
No,
if you're getting the number and then you're going blah 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 this that and the other, and then you taking them out and then you take them out again, and then on the third date you get some goofy nonsense. Somebody saying some goofy nonsense like that. There's something wrong with that.
okay.
It just
Right.
it just don't come. It just doesn't. People, no matter there's an old saying. I forget who says it, but it says, when people show you who they are, believe them. But I always say, what don't come out in the wash comes out in the rinse. So if you're talking to somebody, if you're talking to somebody, they will reveal themselves to you very quickly.
Mm.
But you got to be
Okay.
talking to them to see, for them to realize. And then what you learn is, that somebody in the chat, who says this, young bass prince says, always FaceTime. I'm not against that, but at least have a conversation with somebody.
Right.
And a few
Okay.
conversations. I mean, if you can spend your money and they don't want to talk to you, but they want you can go spending your money. And I'm not saying that in a way that you got to be cheap or nothing, but why would you not talk to somebody? Why would you give somebody? For me, my time is money. So, like, you don't get my time unless you have value to me. So, to just do that and then end up, thank you, Maya Angelou said it, believe. What is it? The poem, I believe, is believe. But if you have time to spend time with them, you have time. There's time you make time to vet them. You understand?
Gotcha. Okay.
All
All
right,
right.
brother.
So and one other thing, because
Real quick.
which you had asked where you meeting these girls, and I get that all the time. What would be a good place?
I mean, I like just what you're saying is. I mean, that's the whole purpose of you laying the 5 bricks. There's
Right.
no place in any place. You know?
Right. Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
All
All right.
right, bro.
Appreciate it. Thank
Later.
you. Bye.
I think we're gonna do one more call and then we're out of here. I'm gonna try and hold on till we get another call in. Man, I appreciate y'all sticking it out. I appreciate all the regulars. Who's in the building? The Wyatt Christian in the building. Young Bass Prince. G2 that I believe it is. Jules Falcone is in the building. All the Man School family. Let's Go Cards 04. JVB in the building. Yeah, but what I was saying before is that the if you take actions, and you take those actions and you translate them into the verbiage, man. What up, Kal-El? You translate it into verbiage, and then and imagine if somebody if a woman looked you in the face and said what they did. Like, for instance, if you ask somebody on a date and then they don't show up for the date, and then they go, "Oh, it slipped my mind." What they're really saying is, "Hey, I know that you took time, effort, and money and put it aside to spend time with me, but you weren't important enough for me to even remember that you had done that. So I went and did some other stuff, and hey, I'm sorry that I missed that I missed your call or missed the date or whatever. And you know what? Let's see if we can do it again." If somebody said that to your face, I doubt very seriously if you would put up with that. And if you would put up with that, you need to get a consultation yesterday. DanteNero.com, click on consult, because you have some self-esteem issues that we need to get to the bottom of. Because here's the thing, when that action is disrespectful or it's neglectful or it's uncompromising or lacks credibility, there is a verbiage that is attached to that. And if you translate that into the verbiage, moreover than not, people would not put up with that kind of behavior. They just wouldn't. And if you're gonna put up with that kind of verbiage, then you need to hit us up as quickly as possible. Real quick, don't forget the Patreon is www.patreon. Let me put that up real quick for y'all. Patreon.com. Here's the Patreon. Appreciate y'all. Don't forget to check out the patreon.com for bonus and technique and game. www.patreon.com/manschool202. Thank you. Oh, real quick, let me shout some of the people out because I figured out. Let me see. Damn it. Come on, man. No, it's not showing up. Hold on real quick. Don't forget that phone lines is up. The last call that I'm making, y'all. This is the last call. Then we man. Oh gosh, come on, dog. I got two oh gosh. I had two Cash App. People that sent the Cash App, and I'm trying to find it. I promise damn it. I don't even know how to find it. My bad. Let me see if I can find it. But that's one of the things that I'm talking about all the time is that you gotta be aware of what people are saying to you and how they're saying it to you, how they mean it, how they how they, that their actions lead to a certain outcome and a certain thought process. And if you're not taking that into consideration, and if you're looking for some kind of closure, if you're looking for somebody to verbally say it to you, they're not going to verbally say it to you. They're going to do what they want to do. And then you're supposed to, you're supposed to just put up with it. And if you put up with it, then trust me, it will continue. I promise you, it will continue. Nobody disrespects somebody, continuously disrespects somebody, and then all of a sudden decides that tomorrow that they are in a situation where they stop being disrespectful. Here it is. Real quick. Clyde Westmoreland sent me $2. Said, thank you, brother. And Prince Terrell sent me 20 on the Cash App. Thank you so much, bro. I think we're going to shut it down. I'm a little beat up today because I had to record some other stuff earlier today. I appreciate you. I will, as I'm rolling out, I think we're going to shut it down. I appreciate you guys coming. We will be back Sunday next week, without a doubt. 7 o'clock, look for us on all platforms. We're still having a problem with the Instagram. But, dog, I appreciate y'all, man. I love y'all. Get your questions ready next time around. Call in. I love y'all. Peace. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Really appreciate that. And check out the new content that we got coming out. Peace. Love y'all.